Hey folks, I think today's going to be, at least for a bit here, is going to be mostly us doing some visual UI tweaking. Because as we know, if we open it, this is fine, whatever, I may change this still, but like these windows, they're not very attractive, and I think we can actually spruce this up pretty quickly by grabbing a few things from one of my favorite websites, which is kenny.nl. And then I'm going to try and get off my lazy butt and actually do some hooking up of my tablet again, because I finally got all the cables that I need since my computer's now sitting in a closet because of that absolutely ridiculous coil whine, which I also need to work on solving, but one thing at a time. One thing. Alright. So now we have a bunch of sprites that we can use. Whether or not we will be determined as we go along here. Some of these are definitely obvious, others not so much. One of the things that I want to use, obviously these button images. So what we can do with these is when you... One sec. 2D Sprite Package Manager. Alright. Apparently I'm missing a package. Who knew? Certainly not me. Why on earth am I missing the 2D Sprite Package Manager? That's just weird. So we'll see how this goes this time with the music, because while it says that it's free use, as long as you put the credits in, I did get copyright struck, so I've sent them an email to ask them, but I do keep recordings that have these on separate channels. So if it's something, I don't want to say shady, but something weird, I can just remove it for upcoming streams. But yeah, so we can come in here, do a little bit of sneaking in with our goal to be making this 9-sliceable. And the key, will come one more in, I think. There we go. So now we've sliced this. So if we come back to the game window and we'll find our debug canvas, we'll start with the toggle menu button, and we're gonna switch its color to white. Then we're gonna go looking for our friend. I think it was that one. Now, as you can see down here, we're gonna zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in on the scene manager so it's not just totally hideous. We can see that it, the button stretches properly, and I think we can do a sprite swap, and when it's pressed, button brown pressed. So in theory, if we go and look at it, yeah, okay, so we just need to fix the second image. So we'll open up the second one and do the same thing as before. We're coming in we're trying to get all the way inside of these little nodules, and then we're coming in one extra on the top and the bottom, just to be safe, because we don't know how that's gonna look. Yep, alright, so it does look like the button stretches a little bit, which I'm not a fan of. So if we look, we can see if we go to this one, that it's 7579. If we go to this one, so 7579, 7579. So now they should, oh, I see, the two images are different sizes. So one's 45 by 45, the other one is 45 by 49. Oh, and that makes sense because they are Oh, okay. Yeah. So it makes sense because they are different art. So maybe we actually want to use the long brown and long pressed. Which, same deal, is a 4 pixel difference. And I don't really want to do the logistics of... because I suspect this still looks wrong. Yeah, it looks like it's stretching, basically. Alright, well, let's try changing it to button long. And then we'll change the press to button long pressed. And in this case, we haven't actually... Ah, okay, so maybe it's just the visual when it shrunk. Yeah, okay. I suppose that's fine for now. And we're in a similar boat with these ones. I suppose you could... Oh, we do have... Oh, so we could still color them. Oh. Let's do that. Okay. So we're gonna back up until... I know this is silly, but we're getting there. Oh my goodness, how many times did I click on those two? There we go. So instead of UI sprite, we're gonna select button square gray. Oh, whoops. There we go. We're gonna pick button square gray. And then, actually button gray long? Yes. And we're gonna switch this to sprite swap. And pressed will also be gray long. And then we can do the same with all of these. Well, all of them that are buttons, which might actually not be very many. Alright, that's fine. And then we don't really have a disabled sprite. And these two are still buttons? Yes. And this is the pressed. And button long gray. So now when we open it, we should see... Yeah, okay, so some of these are starting to look like actual buttons. Even if the text is too big. But that is a solvable problem. If we just shrink the text box to fit within... Oh dear. Fit within the parameters. Casual observer will notice something that's driving me bonkers, which is this not matching up. Also figured out why I've been so dry. The humidity here is getting down into the single digits, or well, not single digits. I'm sorry, getting into the what, like low percents. I think it's still double digits, but it's too low. I'm being drained of my moisture. As if I have excited a rather large mosquito. Okay, so now those still kind of looks like trash. If we're being honest with ourselves. Which you probably should do. Just, that'll be my advice for the day. Unsolicited advice. Cool, and then toggle menus, sort of the same deal. Okay, so we got these 4 drop downs still, which for these ones, We could probably switch those to the parchment. Yeah. I dig it. Oh, did I use the wrong... No, it's still the long one. Do. Oh. Image does not appear to have a border. Well, my friend, let's fix that. That seems too much. 10. Definitely not enough. Because you don't want to stretch out the art itself. You want to stretch the repeating texture, whatever that be. And take that advice with a very, very fine grain of salt, because this is not my strong suit. But you do kind of just need to do stuff until you get better at it. No harm in that. So we should stop seeing that warning. Yep, okay. So what I don't recognize is why this button, when we slice it, has an error. That doesn't make much sense at all to me, because the rest of them... Oh, I guess these are shrunk, actually. Well, let's look here. So that should make them bigger, but it makes them smaller, and that in no way makes sense to me. So I suppose that means that we need to have this not control the height of these objects, and then we can just make them match, I guess. 114? Let's say 75. Yeah. Ah! Duh. Okay. It doesn't make the drop downs enormous. But only the drop downs. That's weird. There must be something strange about how Unity... What if I make these sliced as well? That seems to be more fair. Okay. And we'll go look at those two, which are the beige, not the beige buttons, but the beige panel, I believe. I mean, I could just click on them. Don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. exhaustion, maybe. Who knows? Alright, need to move that in further. This one needs to come into here. This one needs to come into at least here. Is that everything? Yes, okay. Those look fine to me. Obviously, they're stretching the cutouts, but we don't care. And then if we go in, that works fine. Obviously, the drop down leaves a lot to be desired, but this is just for our work purposes. Cool. I think that's already adding a bit of character. Now we want to look at our badges. Progress token. The base is the knob, which is not the loveliest of things. Set that to white. Let's see what we got here. Sure. And actually we'll set that to saturation. Sure. Actually, it will stay black. I was gonna try and grayscale it, but I'm not smart enough to do that. So we hit play, and we can see over here this is filling up, nice and colorful. Obviously, we still haven't touched our rooms. Next, we can go into the actual menus themselves. And let's see, we got beige panel. He says, trying to word. I think that's sufficient. Again, obviously, sort of rough edges and stuff, because it's very small art being used on a rather large thing. Thank you. Beige panel. Turn this one on. You can see a rather large white box, which is the adventure slot container. Wonder if we can make that a bit darker. Perhaps yeah, it doesn't look quite good. It's also way too high on this list. There you go. Maybe we do want to just keep that. Or give it nothing at all. I think that works. Yeah, okay. I'll accept it. Switch those. And then switch from color tint. Although... nah, that's fine. That's fine. That is less so fine. And that text obviously needs to auto resize. Part of me can tell that this is not centered. And that part cares ever so slightly. Not by a whole bunch, but by enough. Enough to fix it, at least. There's that. Our progress bar, I think, is fine as is. I mean, I suppose we technically have options. So if we do they have a white fill base? Oh, they got black. That's actually good enough. So if you could imagine, yes, okay. And you could, if you were so desiring it, could add they have these nodes, like the left and right side. And so you could actually have it fill through all of those things. We're not going to do that for now, because this is sufficient. And then we just need to move some things down and about. There we go. Probably child the fill to the base. Adventurers list is fine, but it should be smaller. That's something we'll probably fix tonight so that it actually works. And rewards list, similar boat. Golly gee. Why? Is it a long button? Yes. Okay then. That's fine. Wow, that's a really big text box. Real big. Too big. That's too close. Heh. Upsy daisy. Eh, we didn't give any color to this thing, but... let's line you up with this stuff. There we go. Okay. And go out, and we have one more. Thought we did. Nope. I didn't do anything, Odin. Don't you judge me. Probably from touching, yeah, the game inspector. I gotta fix something in that at some point. Oh. Crushing my lucky coins. Wow, just look at the size of that text compared to that box. That is just unacceptably large. So obviously at this point we should be going through and making a button prefab, but we're not going to. Why? Well, it's a great question. But none of this is going to be used in the end. It's just to help give us a little bit of style. And doing so will make it more fun to work on it. Not that it isn't already fun. Yeah, but this is too big. There you go. That's some better dimensionality. Or is it? Who knows? It's fine. We'll leave it for now. And turn that off. Let's give it a look-see. So now we got all of our colored and slightly designed buttons. Can show our adventure book. Second one's complete. So let's go turn that in. We'll go into our first one. See an empty slot, names of stuff. One ugly button, that's fine. Kind of forgot that there's those prefabs, but that's fine. And that's going. Once that finishes, we get some spoons and things, so we're missing a few things, like looking at we'll take care of the adventurers first, and then we will work on the inventory window. So very similar to this, where we have this reward prefab. We want to make something similar, but as an adventurer prefab. So our adventurers list is a horizontal layout group. Currently it's a text mesh object in there, but we probably want I guess we could, because if we go grab the reward item and drop it in there, it's actually got everything we want, except we want to change the script. So let's rename this thing. That was the reward item. This is the adventurer. honestly don't know. We'll go with this for now. So now it's its own prefab, not actually associated with anything else, but it gets most of the work done for us. Yeah, I think that might be what we're looking for, actually. So we'll go in using TM Pro, using... Do I need Odin for any of this? Probably not. Oh, using Unity Engine.ui. And then we've got Private Text Mesh Pro UGUI. That's our avatar. Wait. That's our name. Do I need a public getter? Probably not. Private. What's your problem here? I don't want to make it read-only. Private image avatar. And then we have a public void I've seen if we had the other one open still. We don't, but a init. Okay. And we need to pass through a name and art. This dot name dot text. Whoops, don't need this. Name dot text equals name. And whoa. I thought we overrode it. So is it going to require this dot name? All right, fair enough. I suppose if you're going to do something this saucy, it's got to be a bit annoying in some way. So this will initialize the name and art. And then I don't think that I need to do anything else. I don't know why I just closed that window that I did close. That was actually necessary. What? That is fine. Just how we roll. I should really move these. I keep hitting them. Gotta clean up in here a bit anyways. Alright. Whoa, grab the wrong thing. And then from here... Oh, I didn't serialize both of them. For shame on me. If I actually went here, these things would work even better. Apply, please. Go in. Because yeah, if you're in the prefab window, you actually only see anything that's part of the prefab when you're building it. And then if we have multiples of these, awesome. So now... private, and eventually these things may get broken out into their constituent parts, but we're just trying to get the UI up and running for now because we don't know what the final version of it is even going to look like. So that's going to be our prefab. private rect transform. And then, even though we're calling it a pool, we're actually not pooling anything at the moment. Just don't tell anybody. We'll keep it our own little secret. Okay, now I just need to fill that in. So for the for the parent, that is great question, Hoss. Right here. The prefab is what? Where did I save that prefab? Ah, we should change the name of that thing. And then the pool is fine as is. Now back to code. So right here, whoops. Getting judged by this chair whenever I'm trying to sit incorrectly. So what we would do is self-fill prefab. And do that equals instantiate self-fill prefab. And then we'll set the parent and we'll say, please do not let that world position stay. Not that it much matters. And we're going to init Moosecat datum dot cat name. And then for the sprite art, we actually don't have that saved right now, because all of our kitty cats look the same. But we could probably fix that. So with that in mind, we'll pass through null for now. And then we need to do add, and then up here again to hide our crimes. Again, don't tell anybody, it's our little secret. But to keep this all roughly even in design, we'll do that. Okay, so that should all be correct, which is just the best thing to say whenever you haven't tested something yet. It's not taboo at all. Okay. Well, let's complete that one, and then we'll open it again. Oh! It's not updating the text right. Very interesting. To adventure. We can see here that they are both included. Oh, you can't see nothing. We can see right here that they're both included, even if their names are not scaling properly. But no art yet, so let's fix that. I suppose one way we could get it let's see if that works. That might be a null reference because I don't actually know if the sprite render is on the same level. But if it is, we're off to the races. It wasn't. That's fine. Let's go look. Oh, but srender is available on there. So go like this. And then we just need to check the prefab. And that should assign it for all of them. Okay, it did. Now we'll check again. Oh! Oh, I didn't update the code yet. Oh, yes it did. I'm a bit of a numpty sometimes. At least it caught it. Look at these adorable little things. Gotta send it to my wife real quick. Also, that means we can go fix that in other places as well. So if we look at the adventurer, not the adventure drop-down, but the adventurers list, where we're populating these prefabs, which is the adventure GUI prefab. We got the profile image and the name. Is this the right? You know what? We're gonna cheat a little bit and find out. That. Come here. Where are you? Where are you? Adventure list container. There you are. Adventure GUI. Okay, and Adventure GUI is on. What? Hold on here. Adventurer GUI. Okay. I knew it would come back to bite me. Here we are. And then the cell is made larger because it is in a vertical layout group. Okay. So then we just need to add, and I'm immediately recognizing that currently these are both the same thing. I've made two prefabs that are basically the same. But that is not the end of the world. So we need this thing to be bigger so I can see what I'm doing. And we can just temporarily do this so we can see what we're doing. We'll attach this one on the left. We'll say 50. Attach this one on the right. Say -50. Recognizing that when this thing gets stretched, boy, is it going to get stretched. And then here, icon dot sprite equals Moosecat datum dot Moosecat dot srenderer dot art or sprite. And then now when we open that window, should be a. Now I don't know necessarily that I wanted their colors to change, but I didn't get rid of the line, so that's on me. Okay, so we'll save that. And casual observation as we look at these, we can see that while the background box did stretch to 750, these are kind of just layered on. Oh, why is the name anchored to the left now? Did I zig when I was supposed to zag? No. That is fascinating. And it's clearly generating the right object. Wait a tick. Aha! Wait. Ah. Alright. Alright. I see. I just forgot my own naming convention from before. That's fine. Profile image, yep, and yep, there we go. Now I'm expecting this to make more sense. Like, it's not going to be pretty, but it should all look correct. Nice. And I could probably see myself turning off the automatic resize of the vertical layout group, which would be done hereabouts. Obviously it would make them much smaller, but we could always fix that by just saying something like this and saying we want this to be 50 pixels in from either side of the screen. Sorry, 50 in. And the height is whatever. In fact, we kind of do similar. That way, if we change the height of this thing, the height of these two will grow as well. And then we can go back to this menu. And we could set it to control child height. And that should give us bigger Moosecats. Yeah, it did. But it also made their dimensions negative. You can't have a negative width. That's a no-no, as we say in the biz. So I guess we'll have it control width and height. Actually, let's do that real quick. Okay, and that will make the height 0. Sure, okay. I don't use those very much anyway, so we might as well do whatever they want. I don't like that image stretching. We'll leave it there. So even if it stretches, the background, the actual cat, will be normal. Teeny tiny, but that's fine. So yeah, you got your two that are on an adventure right now, so you can't click on them. And go in here, complete quest. If we back out and come back in, we can actually use any of them. So obviously we need to come back through the GUI interface later and set it up so that... Oh, real quick, we should fix this also. So which window is that? I believe that's the adventure list. Right, and I still hate this thing, so we'll fix that eventually. So right now, those get initialized. Yes. That makes sense. So then we would want a public void update status. And in that window, these things would happen. And then if we go back here, we would have a public void update status. Update adventure statuses. That'd be 4. We can do 4 each. Sure, GUI in a... Are we adding these to any sort of list? Adventure cells. Adventure GUI dot update status. Then we can come back out here to this class. So So we've got our adventure list, which we know is happening because of this. So I suppose for now, we can do a private voids on enable. Not a fan of that, but I just need the stuff to work for now, and then it's all going to get rewritten when the actual UI is done. So right now this is correct. So we turn this in. Ah, it's still incorrect. Oh, and it makes sense that it would be incorrect because we are not... when we toggle the canvas, we are not actually enabling this object. We are enabling a layer lower. So we could technically hook up an event to this if we wanted. It's kind of nerdy, but... So then we just grab that, slap it on here, apply, game event listener. This is not something I would suggest that you do, but it works within the functionality of what I've hooked up so far. So, it's fine. All right, this is correct. Close that, complete. Now this is correct again. And then if we go in here, put a cat on adventure, that is correct, still correct. You can see our antlers, fork and spoon. Complete it, and this is all correct. Okay, cool. So that takes care of that bug as well. Is there anything else I want to do tonight then? Yeah, no, you know, I think that's a pretty solid sort of UI update and fixing the remaining issues that we had. Although you could argue that little things like having this open and then opening this above it is a problem, and you would be absolutely correct. So what I'll need to do is create, I'm thinking a GUI spawner, and what it'll do is when you call spawn events for GUI work, it'll load in whatever UI you want to load and then tell any other UI to nuke itself. So I think that might be the next thing we do. But I think when we think about it now, we have rooms. We can add Moosecats to rooms. Yeah, I think we really need inventory next. That's got to be it. So I think for the next video, we will do the inventory system. That has to be our next step. I can't think of any other reason why. Like what else we would do. So with that in mind, yeah, if you watch this on Twitch, thank you for watching here. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching there. And, you know, I hope you have a nice day.